Happy Memorial Day, you two people. I saw this story and I thought this was just hilarious. This is, as I was reading it, I couldn't help but say to myself, this is what I voted for. I voted for this. This is exactly the type of thing I wanted to happen. Uh, I do not regret any of it. I don't care how good of a goodest boy you are. If you're here illegally, be it you cross the border illegally or you overstayed your visa, I want you gone. Get out. I don't care how many kids you got. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about any of it. Fuck off. Get out of here. Should have done it the right way. And I absolutely love that ICE is doing stuff like this. Yeah, this is what I voted for. And shout out to the Associated Press. Oh, shit. I got Liar's avatar up there in the corner. Okay. There we go. ICE agents wait in the hallways of immigration court as Trump seeks to deliver on mass arrest pledge. Yeah, like I said, I voted for this. This is what I voted for. I wanted this to happen. I apologize for nothing. This coming out of Miami. Juan Serrano, a 28-year-old Colombian migrant with no criminal record, attending a hearing in an immigration court in Miami on Wednesday for what he thought would be a quick check-in. The musty, glass-paneled courthouse sees hundreds of such hearings every day. Most last less than 5 minutes and end with a judge ordering those who appeared to return in 2 years' time to plead their case against deportation. So it came as a surprise when, rather than set a future court date, government attorneys asked to drop the case. You're free to go, Judge Monica Newman told Serrano. Except he really wasn't. Yeah, I know. Just sitting in there like cheetahs in the bushes waiting to pounce. Waiting for him as he exited the small courtroom were 5 federal agents who cuffed him against the wall, escorted him to the garage, and whisked him away in a van along with a dozen other migrants detained the same day. They're just out there just snatching people up, putting them just like black bag, get in the van. Like fucking what's it called? V for Vendetta, just black bagging people. They weren't the only ones. Across the United States, in immigration courts from New York to Seattle this week, Homeland Security officials are ramping up enforcement actions in what appears to be a coordinated dragnet, testing out new legal levers deployed by President Donald Trump's administration to carry out mass arrests. While Trump campaigned on a pledge of mass removals of what he calls illegals, they are illegal. If they are here illegally, they are illegals. He's struggling to carry out his plans amid a series of lawsuits, the refusal of some foreign governments to take back their nationals, and a lack of detention facilities to house the migrants. Yeah, nothing's perfect. We'll figure it out. Arrests are extremely rare in or immediately near immigration courts, which are run by the Justice Department. When they have occurred, it was usually because the individual was charged with a criminal offense or their asylum claim had been denied. Quote, all this all this is to accelerate detentions and expedite removal, said immigration attorney Wilfredo Allen, who has represented migrants at the Miami court for decades. 3 U.S. immigration officials said government attorneys were given the order to start dismissing cases when they showed up for work Monday, knowing full well that federal agents would then have a free hand to arrest those same individuals as soon as they stepped out of the courtroom. All spoke on condition of anonymity because of fear of losing their jobs, which, fair enough. I've got no problem with Anon. I do it too. Unless you're making a claim about a person. Like if you're trying to make a claim about a specific person, like you witnessed something, whatever, then yeah, you should probably not do it anonymously. But I try to stay anon, but I'm also not out here, trying to drop the dime on people. AP reporters on Wednesday witnessed detentions and arrests or spoke to attorneys whose clients were picked up at an immigration courthouse in Los Angeles, Phoenix, New York, Seattle, Chicago, and Texas. Just all across the country. East, West, Midwest, everywhere. North, South, get them. Get them, Trump. It's what we voted for. The latest effort includes people who have no criminal record, migrants with no legal representation, and people who were seeking asylum. Yeah, they're all illegals, though. The asylum seekers likely snuck in or lied about needing asylum in order to get across the border. It doesn't matter if they have no criminal record. They broke the law. They became a criminal the moment they snuck into the country illegally. And migrants with no legal representation, they're not American citizens. They're not afforded legal representation. That's a privilege of natural born American citizens and legal residents. According to reports received by the American Immigration Lawyer Association, known as the AILA, while detentions have been happening over the past few months, on Tuesday, the number of reports skyrocketed, said Vanessa de Jaquez Torres. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Practice and Policy Counsel at the AILA. In the case of Serrano in Miami, the request for dismissal was delivered by a government attorney who spoke without identifying herself on the record. When the AP asked for the woman's name, she refused and hastily exited the courtroom past one of the groups of plainclothes federal agents stationed throughout the building. Yeah, I don't blame her. Considering what leftists have been doing recently, I don't blame her for wanting to stay anonymous either. You know, I'm sure there's a method by which a person can find that information, but it's not the job. Like, you know, they shouldn't just be forced to give it out anytime a reporter asks for it, especially considering, like I said, what leftists have been doing. The, you know, Luigi Mangione case, and then the Rodriguez case of the embassy, you know, the Israeli embassy. Those two people got shot. You know, leftists have been acting a fool, have been shooting a lot of people recently. And I don't blame a federal attorney who is working to deport illegals from not wanting to give her name to the press for fear that she might get, you know, shot by some Luigi Mangione copycat. The Justice Department's Executive Office for Immigration Review, which oversees immigration courts, referred questions to the Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is part of Homeland Security, said in a statement that it was detaining people who are subject to fast track deportation authority. Outside the Miami courthouse on Wednesday, a Cuban man was waiting for one last glimpse of his 22-year-old son. Initially, when his son's case was dismissed, his father assumed it was a first. It was a first positive step towards legal residency, but the hope for reprieve quickly turned into a nightmare. Quote, my whole world came crashing down. Ah, yes, AP. Sob stories. Because this will make, you know, me change my mind about this. It won't, by the way. I'm being sarcastic. My whole world came crashing down, said the father, breaking down in tears. The man, who asked not to be identified for fear of arrest, described his son as a good kid who rarely left his Miami home except to go to work. We thought coming here was a good thing, he said of his son's court appearance. You know, in liberal America, you know, it was a good thing. But no, this is, you're not going to break the law to come into the country and then expect a pathway to citizenship. Come in through the front door, sign the guest book on the way in, go through all the proper steps. Don't sneak in or lie about seeking asylum at the border and then prey on the, you know, the good, you know, prey on the good nature of like Americans and the stupidity of liberal judges in order to get legal residency. If you're here illegally, get the fuck out. Antonio Ramos, an immigration attorney with an office next to the Miami courthouse, said the government's new tactics are likely to have a chilling effect in Miami's large migrant community, discouraging otherwise law abiding individuals from showing up for their court appearances for fear of arrest. People are going to freak out like never before, he said. Good. If they're illegals, they should be freaking out. Serrano entered the U.S. in September 2022 after fleeing his homeland due to threats associated with his work as an advisor to a politician in the Colombian capital, Bogota, according to his girlfriend, who spoke on condition of anonymity for fear of being arrested and deported. Last year, he submitted a request for asylum, he said. Okay, so he entered the U.S. in 2022, but he waited 2 years before he requested asylum. Get the fuck out. No sympathy, no pity, get out. She said the couple met working on a cleanup crew to remove debris near Tampa following Hurricane Ian in September of 2022. Wow, that's amazing. That's interesting. He got here and immediately found a job. In 2022, there were, you know, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of Americans probably needed that job, but somehow the illegal got it. He was shy and I'm extroverted, said the woman who is from Venezuela. Oh, imagine that. Oh, yeah, she's illegal too, of course. The couple slept on the street when they relocated to Miami, but eventually scrounged together enough money, she cleaning houses, him working construction, to buy a used car and rent a one-bedroom apartment for $1,400 a month. Yeah, why do you have to live in Miami? Why do you have to live in the most expensive, one of the most expensive cities in the country? Which, I mean, sure, it's because you fucking neither of you could barely speak English, so you'd rather be around other native Spanish speakers so that you don't feel like a complete fucking alien. But still, like, and it's just scrounged together enough money. Fuck off. The apartment is decorated with photos of the two in better times, standing in front of the Statue of Liberty in New York, visiting a theme park, and lounging at the beach. That's amazing. They had money to travel and do touristy shit. She said the two worked hard, socialized little, and lived a law-abiding life. It doesn't matter if you're here illegally every day that you spend in this country. Your life is not law-abiding. Sorry, not sorry. That is not how that works. Quote, he didn't even have a speeding ticket. We both drive like grandparents. Yeah, that's because you don't want to get caught. If you're an illegal and you get caught with you get caught speeding, well, guess what? Deportation, motherfucker. Or, I mean, no, probably not deportation immediately. They'll probably just give you the speeding ticket and then, ICE will find you after that. But whatever. The woman was waiting outside the courthouse when she received a call from her boyfriend. He told me to go, that he had been arrested, and there was nothing more to do, she said. She was still processing the news and deciding how she would break it to his elderly parents. Meanwhile, she called an attorney recommended by a friend to see if anything could be done to reverse the arrest. Quote, I'm grateful for any help, she said as she shuffled through her boyfriend's passport, migration papers, and IRS tax receipts. Unfortunately, not a lot of Americans want to help us. I certainly don't. Like, you guys are illegals. You didn't do it the right way. Okay? America is not the world homeless shelter. Oh, Colombia sucks, so I'm just gonna go live illegally in America for 2 years before I ever even try to ask for asylum. Like, no, this shit doesn't, like, I'm not down for this shit. I don't care about it. Get the fuck out. You get arrested by ICE, get sent back to your home country, and if you can make it back, then come in through the front door, sign the guest book on the way in, and don't lie and say you need political asylum when you don't. No sympathy, no pity. Anyway, feel free to disagree with me or agree with me in the comments below, and follow the links to all of my alternative channels and, follow me on X. Also, check out the gaming streams, which I'm finally doing again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday in the afternoon. And then check out Clown World Chronicles on Saturday mornings over on Rumble. And then the video after I finish streaming it on Rumble will be uploaded to YouTube. And to BitChute. So, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere you want political commentary or really bad gaming streams. Either one. I do both. Anyway, throw me a bone.